Hello, so welcome on our live. I didn't even think about putting the hour for you, but from next week I'm going to mention the hour, what time we're going to see each other on the live, okay, because that's going to be a weekly thing. And I've got plenty of questions. I've already shared some of the questions on the stories, so if you've been on my stories, you've probably seen them. Today we're going to speak about the nutrition for weight loss, a bit about the mindset as well, and we're going to speak about a few things when it comes to the current topic that we've got on our Little Red Dress program that you may find as well interesting. So what we're going to start, we're going to start with our first We're going to start with our first question. So our first question was, shall I increase my calories after, losing weight? So it's really important to because that is very much depends, okay? So it depends if where you are with your calories, if you're still losing weight, if you still want to lose weight. So let's assume you've already lost weight, okay? And you now don't want to lose any more weight, okay? So probably at this point, you need to recalculate your calories and you need to readjust them. And if you are going to do that, okay? So you need to increase probably more than likely, if you're still on that calorie deficit and you're losing weight, you probably need to tiny increase your calories to put yourself back in that maintenance level, okay? And then you need to probably week by week look if you are in the right place. What is worth mentioning at this point, and I think that is very important to understand, that when you get to the maintenance level, okay, when you get to the place where you don't want to lose any more weight, you're happy with where you are, that is never going to be just a one point, okay? It's not going to be just like strict on, let's say, oh, you're 60 kilograms now and you're going to be just that point on that 60, okay? It's going to be always like fluctuating. There will be brackets in between when you're going to be moving from, from tiny bit lower to tiny bit higher, and that is because of the life, okay? Life is never like static, stable. It can go up and down, holidays, Christmas times. So it's really, it's really important to understand. And I think the skill is just to finding yourself in brackets and then knowing when you're getting too close to that line, where the weight is going too high up, to think like, okay, what am I going to adjust now, okay? And then get back yourself in the right place. When you look on the other perspective, so let's say you've lost your weight, you're still losing, your progress is fairly slow now, okay? So it's slowing down, but you're still losing weight and you're still happy with that. And you think like, yeah, I can stay here, then you don't need to recalculate your calories, okay? You don't need to change your calories because you're happy with your progress. Sometimes slower is better, okay? Because it's more sustainable. So if you're in that place, you can just stay here, okay? And there is another option. So that's the option where you are in maintenance, where you want to adjust. And I think it's really important to see where you are and what's your goal, okay? Not to go too sharp, not to push yourself too much, and not to make that decision too early as well, okay? Because we don't want to over restrict you, we don't want to put you on the like too little calories. And so that's when it comes to the increasing or lowering your calories after you lost weight. Another thing is like, when it comes to the that's a good question. When it comes to the juices, shall you look and count your calories in juices towards your calorie intake? And the answer is yes. Yeah, so whenever you are having any drinks, pops, juices, anything like that, always count it towards your calories in, okay? Because that's what we use and your body is using as energy source. And I think that is, I've mentioned that before as well, but to remind you, juices are fairly high in calories, fairly high in natural sugar as well, which I'm not saying they are not good to drink, but I think it's really important to have that awareness, yeah, that one glass of juice it will bring you over 100 of calories, okay? So if you've got that 100 over a meal, but if you're using them, diluted juices, Robinson's type, that's only 9 calories. So it's very much personal which one you're gonna choose, okay? But whichever you're gonna choose, just make sure that it's calculated towards your calorie intake. And yes, the juices counts towards the water intake. So if you don't like water, you can count your juices towards your water intake, okay? So you don't have to struggle, because I know so many of you may not like water because it's got no taste. So I know that adds that little edge to that. So that is another question. Another one which I had about the fiber, okay? Because we are on a fiber topic with our team now, Little Red Dress, and the question is like, oh, what shall I focus on, fiber or protein? And my answer here is, ideally you want to focus on both, But if you can't do it, just start with protein first and then focus on fiber, okay? They're both different. They both increase the satiety level. So eating protein and having high fiber diet is going to increase that satiety. So you're going to feel full for longer, okay? So they are both going to help you with weight loss. But at the same time, they are totally different, because protein is essential for building muscle, okay? And you can't use fiber as a protein, and you can't use protein as a fiber. It's the fiber. Fiber is really important from the health perspective. So obviously fiber is like a brushing from the toxins, okay? So that is really important to understand. They've got both tiny different functions. They may have similar, but if you're struggling to, you know, to work on both of them, just focus on the protein. And we've already touched that last time on the live. So now just do then you can just start adding the fiber. Fiber, the amount that, if you've not heard anywhere else before, 25 to 35 grams, okay, per day. How to see how much fiber you're getting in your diet? Ideally, you can use any of the trackers, okay? So if you use any apps and scan your food, log your food, it's going to bring you the fiber number, so then you can see actually how much fiber you're getting, just if you're interested in that, okay? So hopefully that's going to be a good answer. It's going to answer your question. Another one is about, and that is really good, about the metabolism. It's like, oh, is it the truth that if I don't eat enough, my metabolism is going to slow down? And that is really bringing us back to that first question about the recalculating calories for weight loss. And the reason why, and I think I've mentioned that, but again, I'm going to repeat that again, is like, when you lose weight, okay, and let's say if you started already you're starting your weight loss and you're 80 kilograms, and let's say you need at this point 2000 calories, okay, now you've lost your weight, and now your body, let's say you've lost 10 kilograms, and now your body doesn't need that 2000 calories, it's going to be now on 1700, okay? So in this point, it doesn't mean like your metabolism is slowing down. It means like your energy, okay, your energy requirement is lower. So your body doesn't need as many calories now, not as much energy, to keep your body functioning at this level, okay? Does that mean that your metabolism is stopping or anything? No. It does not mean that your metabolism is damaged. No. It's absolutely up to you, like how you put your calorie deficit and how sharp it's going to be, okay? Very often if you put and make your calorie deficit so sharp, and you're going to go like, let's say, oh, I'm going to be on 900 calories. And I had ladies that were on like 900 calories before on some diets doing prior to joining the program, and they were surprised when I've put them on 1800, okay? They were like, oh, I can't believe I'm losing weight, and I've tried doing it on 900 calories, okay? And I think the important thing to understand here is there is that adherence, how likely you sustain your calorie deficit. If you're going to stick to 900 calories, 1000 calories a day, how likely you're going to sustain that going forward, okay? And then if you're going to put yourself on a higher level with the calories, it is so much more sustainable, okay? And it's so much more achievable, and it's going to give you results in a longer time. So I think that's where it's worth asking yourself, is it worth going so sharp into that calorie deficit and, you know, eating not enough? But saying that, as long as you're going to be in a calorie deficit, you're going to keep losing weight, okay? There is no way you're not going to lose weight if you're in a calorie deficit. And if you are in a calorie deficit, okay, or if you think you are in the calorie deficit and you're still not losing weight, there's probably a different reason and something that needs to be maybe approached from different perspective. And I'm going to give you an example. When I was in Poland, I was watching television, and there was a lady, and it was like a lifestyle type of the program. And the lady was saying like, oh, I've lost weight. I always struggle to lose weight, and nothing worked for me. I've got damaged metabolism, and I never could lose weight. I've lost weight, and then I was just sticking to the salads, and I was putting on weight. And there was a doctor there, like, and he was saying, as his reply was like, oh yes, because you've damaged your metabolism, so that's why you started putting on weight while eating salad. And like for me, it was a big red light, okay, because what was uncovered during that program, it was not, the problem was not that she was putting on weight while eating salad. The main problem was that she was emotional eating, and the problem was that she was over restricting herself with the calories and sticking to the salads. She couldn't stick to that, so she was then overindulging, okay? And then taking into account emotional eating in between of that was spiraling her from that point of like losing and gaining weight. Because in the first place, if she've lost weight initially to the certain point, it means that calorie deficit worked for her. But for some reason, when she was in that place where she's lost weight, she couldn't maintain that. And I think that's where there was all that, you know, the basic thing, the most important thing it was hiding. It was not that she couldn't get to that point of the weight loss. It was that maintaining that weight loss become challenging because she was over restricting herself, okay? So sometimes that is really important to understand, that if you're not getting results, it's not that you've damaged your metabolism. It might be, you know, the too sharp calorie deficit, okay? It might be different reasons, and it's really, it is important just to find what it could be if it's not that, okay? Because everybody on a calorie deficit are gonna lose weight. Is there anything else from the questions I've had? I think one more thing, which is which I don't think I've mentioned before, is about, oh hello Anna, it's because oh, I've lost it now. About being persistent. Oh, I've got it now. So one of the ladies said, I always struggled with the mindset of losing focus when my results are not as quick. So if you see your results showing up, so if you're losing weight but it might not be fast enough, and you may think like, oh, I'm not really making any progress, okay? And I think it might be sometimes like, because you may sometimes see someone, it's like, oh yeah, that person lost 4 pounds in a week, you know, and you feel like, oh, why am I not losing? I've just lost 1 pound. And you may feel like disheartened that your progress is not as fast as others, and that you're going very slow, and is it really worth it? You're doing all that only for a 1 pound. And at this point, I always say, like, just get a bit more perspective, just stand a bit more further away from that, and then look from the distance, okay? Because if it is like ½ pound a week, okay, it's going to be 2 pounds over a month, and over 12 months, if you look on a yearly, it's going to be 24 pounds, okay? So you may see now that you're losing only ½ pound, okay, a week. But if you're going to look on the perspective of the year, that's going to add up to 24 pounds. And another thing I think is worth remembering at this point is that where you're going to be, if you're going to stop now, where you're going to be in a year's time, where you're going to be in 3 years' time. But if you're not going to stop now, where you're going to be in a year's time. So I think it's really important to understand if it was the consequence of stopping, and what's the consequence of being consistent. And another last thing which I'm going to say, because it's a really good visual example, is if you imagine you are hiking up the hill, okay? And obviously you hike, and I had that on one of the hikes when I was like traveling, and I felt like, you know what, I'm like tired. I feel like I'm not going any way up, because like I'm just walking up, and you can't see that I'm reaching the goal, you know, like I felt like, oh, I can't be bothered. And I think when you get the perspective, you may see yourself in that point, you know, on that edge of the mountain, walking on top, and you not see yet that goal at the end. But someone who is seeing you from the distance, okay, may see actually that you are high up there, okay. So you may not see that you've already got here. And I think that's really important, that we walk all the way up, feeling like we're not progressing, and we're stopping just before we reach that summit. So if you're getting there, okay, just make sure that gain the perspective, see how much you've already done, think about the perspective, if I'm going to stop, where I'm going to be, okay, in the future. Because I think that is that mindset, that is that what you want to embrace on a weight loss journey, that is not a change just for 6 weeks, that is going to be a change that's going to be happening over time. And once you get to the nice place of maintenance, that's what you want to sustain going forward, and then get even better. And I think that is it for today. I don't think I've got any more, and if I've forgotten anything, I'll probably do it next time. So if you've joined me and you've been with me, thank you very much for joining. As I said, next week I'm promising I'm gonna put the time on when I'm gonna be live. Okay, so you can be here with me, and then if you've got any questions, you can pop them as well. And in the meantime, again, if you've got any questions, I always ask for them on the stories, or send them to me directly. Okay, I'll always pick up a different question questions from different places, Facebook and here Instagram, and I'll speak about that next week. So if there's any topic that interests you, nutrition, weight loss, mindset, exercising, training, anything, just let me know. So have a good day, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch with you on the next live next week. So take care.